Hello everyone. Today we're going to be learning about Blackbeard. Now, just as a disclaimer, this deck is a very difficult deck to get into. There's a lot of things about this deck that you need to know and a lot of matchups that you need to be aware of. So here I'm just going to go over kind of the basics idea of Blackbeard, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use a deck that is kind of, if you get, just a box, like you can probably get this deck build. Like there's not going to be anything that's like really out of the like hard to get kind of cards. The only one which would probably be, the 10 drop Blackbeard might be the hardest one to get, but all these other cards you can pretty much get straight from like just buying one box of OP09. So Blackbeard leader, no on play abilities for you. On your main turn, you can activate as many times as you want. It doesn't say once per turn. You can trash one card from your hand, and then until the end of your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot play any on-play abilities. This is kind of creates a very unique situation where if you have something like Burgess out on the field, what you can do is you can start trashing as many cards as you want to get that additional attack power, but generally speaking, you're not really going to use it this way. Then we have Van Augur. Main ability is going to be that you can rest him, give -3 to any of your opponents. So this will be good for when you're trying to KO one of your opponent's cards. Then whenever he's KO'd, you draw a card. Then we have Katarina Devon. So she's going to be kind of an all-around card that we can play. She can have double attack, banish, or blocker. So as soon as you play her, you generally want to put her as blocker. That way you can block any like even trades. It is going to kind of suck if they have multiple characters, because then they can just kind of overpower her once she's already blocked an attack, but at least you'll have something for defensive. Next, a very key card to have is going to be Burgess. Cannot be KO'd by your opponent's effects, so no characters on play abilities, no event cards can get him unless they are like trash or place abilities or effects. For every 4 cards in the trash, he gets 1k. So being able to use our leader's ability or other abilities that we have increase our trash is really helpful here. So very good card to have. Then we have Shiryu. So here, on attack, trash 2 cards and then draw 2 cards. Got to be very careful about that ability because sometimes even I forget that it's first trash and then draw. So very important to remember. Next we have Stronger. So trash 1 card from our hand, then trash this character. And then if our leader's Blackbeard, which it should be, then we can draw 1 card and then give one of our opponent's characters -2 for this turn. Next we have Vasco Shot, a 2k blocker, pretty self-explanatory. Then in this specific build, we have Doc Hughes. In this, again, build, which is kind of a very like starter decky build, it's going to be the only way to KO stuff other than the event cards. But as long as we have everything done right, we should be good to KO anything that's like 4 or less. So using him in combination with Augur and Stronger, being able to get them down to the cost of 1, then we'll be able to get them. His ability is rest him, KO anything that's cost 1 or less, and on KO we get to draw 1 card. Now we have our big drop. We have a blocker, Marshall D. Teach. On our main turn, if we have just played them, then we can activate his ability and we can negate the effect of a leader card, and we can also negate the effects of one opponent's characters, and then that character cannot attack on your opponent's next turn. Now we have Lafayette. He's going to be our searcher card. So we play him, we rest a Don, and then we can look at our top 5 cards for another Blackbeard pirate, and then we add it to our hand, and the rest go at the bottom of our deck. So this searcher card is going to be, when we play this card, we're going to look at the top 3, pick 1, and then the other cards go to our trash. So if we're stuck between 2 cards that we really want, we're going to have to sacrifice 1. So use this kind of only if you're really in desperate need of cards, or if you already have what you need in your hand and you don't need to worry about trashing any other cards. Next, we're going to have Black Spiral. This is going to negate one of our opponent's leaders or characters' effects, and then we're going to give them -4,000 during this turn. This event card, Liberation, is going to be one of our main ways to start KOing. We're going to choose one character, negate its effect, and then we're going to KO it if it's cost 4 or less. So very important to get them to 4 or less, and then trigger this card. Lastly, we have our Stage Searcher. trash one card from our hand, and then look at the top 3 and place it at the bottom of our deck. Okay, so let's get into our first game. So here we're going up against the new Nico Robin. So here I'm going to decide to keep my hand because I have a searcher and I have 2 blockers. So I'm going to play the searcher. I'm not going to worry about negating any of their on-play effects. Here I'm going to use my searcher. I'm going to go for the stage because I want to be able to continuously search for cards because they're going to try to KO this Lafayette. But I'm going to end up using my blocker to prevent it from being KO'd for at least one more turn. That way I can get another free searcher. So they go for it. They're triggering their ability. I activate my blocker. So here I'm deciding if I want to use my Lafayette or if I want to play one of my other cards. I do end up deciding to play the Devon. So I go for just an even attack, get one of his 2Ks, that's good. Activate the leader's ability so that I can prevent him from playing any on-plays effects. Here, what I should have done is I should have activated Devon to have a blocker just in case he wanted to attack me with something even, but here he's going to go for a 7k attack, so I wouldn't have blocked that anyways. So here, I'm going to go for the double attack. Okay, he blocks it, so you have to use quite a few cards to do that, and a counter. I'm going to throw in my 2k blocker so that I can protect the Devon. And then here I'm going to search for more cards. Here I'm going to get the Burgess since I'm stacking up my trash pretty well. Going to get another Burgess. And then I'm going to attack for the 6k. He's going to take the hit. And then he triggered his Rygo, so that was unfortunate. And then activate my leader's ability to prevent any on-play effects. Here, I'm going to block it to make him use his leader to attack Lafayette. Here, he can't do anything, so I'm able to just play both my Burgesses. Go in for the 5k. And here, I know I'm going to be taking some hits because I can't defend anything, but it's perfectly fine because I'm still up on cards. So here I'm just letting him do his thing. I'm going to trash card to see what else I can get from my deck. I got a counter, so I'm going to try to leave at least 2 Dons active. Gonna block him from playing any on-play abilities. So here he uses a counter, no big deal. We're both at 1 life. Now here I'm deciding if I want to go in for a big attack or save enough for to get my Devon out and then block. So here, instead of doing a very big attack, I just do a small attack so that I can have 2 Dons left. I go for the BG, so that way he can't use that as an extra attack on his next turn. So at least I have 1 blocker and I have a counter for whatever he's going to throw at me next. I'm going to use the counter for something that I can easily counter out of. So if he hits me with anything less than a 9k attack, then I'm going to play my counter. Fortunately here, he does throw out his Kingdom Come, but that does mean that he can't do anything else with that, with the Dawn. So he can't do really a big high attack on my life with both his leader and his Katakuri. I'm going to search my next top 3 just to see if I can get maybe a 10-drop Blackbeard. I don't. I'm going to go for a relatively strong attack. He takes it, And then here I was going to go all in. He doesn't have anything that can block a 13k attack. You know, even if they were all 2k cards, he would only have enough for an 11k attack. There's nothing much for him to do other than just give up at this point. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. This Blackbeard has been driving me crazy because it's very difficult to understand and know when exactly to use his ability to cancel out the on-play effects, because as you can see, you know, you're constantly running out of cards in your hand, so you can't really use counters. You have to use your blockers, you have to play them correctly. You know, there's a lot of different things that kind of make this deck difficult, but let me know what deck you want me to make a guide for next. The next video that's going to come out is going to be the tournament ready deck for Blackbeard, so hope you look forward to that one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.